What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some expectations for this upcoming week, what might cause some volatility in the stock price, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data points. So Monday is going to be more of a reflection day. People thinking back to what has happened over the last 2 weeks. Good, bad, and the ugly. Friday, of course, we did end off in a relatively positive note because of Powell. And then this upcoming week, we have JOLT numbers that's coming out on Tuesday. Forecast currently is 7.5. Previous reports have been somewhat mixed. For Wednesday, you have CPI, PPI on Thursday, and then Michigan Consumer Sentiment Preliminary. And in reality, I think this one could be a little bit more of a touchy subject. This combined with Walmart and the FOMC minutes, that's what really prompted all of the inflationary fear. So again, it should make for a very interesting week, but if a lot of these data points do come in better than anticipated, you could see a very positive leg up in the broader market. But as far as specific to Lucid, the only thing that is going to be most likely coming out is this. So this is going to be held on March the 11th. So a little bit more of an ask me anything. I did bring this up in my video yesterday. So I don't anticipate personally any new information from this, but I think at the end of the day, investors might love it. So yeah, this is going to be pretty good. So it looks like Marquis, Bob, and Colin, and so two audio experts. And so, yeah, I think that's a good thing, but still not really a good catalyst, in my opinion, to really go out and buy Lucid nor sell. But this will be a good FYI. Specific for this, though, under their website. So it looks like they'll still be in Orlando for as of March the 7th, and also in Hillsborough. So the Sapphire is going to be there. But you should see from flyovers a lot more Gravity is being transported. And even on social media, you see a lot more just random Gravity pictures. And I think that is because of this. So in their Q4 earnings, they did state that in the coming weeks, we expect virtually all of our studios to have showrooms and test drive cars so buyers can see and feel just how it is great for themselves. So the Gravity, we should see a lot of activity in that capacity. So I think that might be pretty good, hype up investors, because that's been one of those things that the ramp up hasn't been to, I think, investors' expectations, even though, to be fully fair, Lucid has been transparent and said that they were going to start off slow. They mentioned this in the Barclays interview. So they said they're going to start off slow and then obviously ramp up once they have everything. Because when they did this same type of ramp up in 2022 with the Air, they did mess up significantly. They didn't outright say that. They were kind of being a little bit shady about that, but I guess all the configurations weren't aligned, so they had a big problem. I think that was in like Q2 2022. So I think they're just trying to make sure that all the ducks are in the row and they're easy to accomplish success for that. So yeah, I think in general we should be seeing more Gravities down the pipeline. And then yeah, for the most part, I think that's it for Lucid. So no other fireside chats, no interviews that are planned, nothing like that. So it's just going to be kind of the broader market moving it. Shorts have been somewhat active, so anticipate them to be equally active for this week. Going into this week, though, 25.05% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 303.68 million shares overall are being shorted. I did see on social media, so of course, very rumor-ish, but I think some people are really hinting that Trump might sign some executive order in relation to, let's say, naked shorting. And in that capacity, just a lot of blatant manipulation. So I think it is fair to assume that Lucid is getting heavily manipulated by shorts. Even on Friday, they did increase 1.46 million shares over the last, week and a half. They've increased like 50 million shares. So hopefully that would be pretty good. I think that would be a natural deterrent. And as far as latest updates for that SEC transparency rule, it did get pushed back to second half of 2025. and there was some kind of exclusions that were added to that. So of course, I think big names such as BlackRock, Vanguard, they're kind of exempt from these rules. So yeah, it's kind of an unfortunate thing. So it did get pushed back a little bit. So let me know your general thoughts, and in case you do or kind of missed my previous videos on what that does truly mean. So when a company is submitting 13Fs, if they are shorting, as of right now, they don't have to disclose anything for the short purposes. So short is just completely voluntary. So you can kind of see how that is very manipulative and very flawed. It's not really transparent. Whereas with this new transparency rule, if you have a long position, if you have a short position, if you have anything, you have to disclose it. So I think that is good, and this will be a natural deterrent against shorts. So whether Trump does something as far as an executive order or this SEC transparency rule does kick in, that hopefully might get shorts off of Lucid's back momentarily. But as I've mentioned, I think shorts are either in it to destroy Lucid, maybe they are associated to Tesla in some capacity, or they just hate the PIF. It's one or the other. There's no other logical explanation whatsoever. But with Lucid going into this upcoming week, looking at the options, you see consensus for it to be above 250. So pretty good return just in 1 week. Again, that's the bulls. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 2. So of course, given where it is at, there's a little bit more upside anticipated. And with it at 215, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So 206 is going to be the strong support. And then 263 is going to be the next strong target / resistance point. So definitely Lucid does have a lot of room for it to kind of move higher. And there has been a abnormal amount of analyst ratings for whatever reason. I'm not really sure exactly what prompted all of these recent ones, but you did have a $5 one, $2.30, and then $1. Again, I'm not really sure why someone would feel justified like this far after their earnings to say, hey, you know what, I'm going to give a $1 sell rating just because. I feel like it doesn't make logical sense all that much. And a lot of people seem to be commenting on the Gravity, such as that TD Cohen $2.30 price target. That one was saying that they don't feel like the Gravity has good demand and is too pricey. Like still, like it's in the early stages. I feel like it's way too early to judge the Gravity's demand. Even from the Q4 earnings, Mark stated like they haven't really done any marketing at all. So yeah, you never know. You might see some ratings coming out. Logically, it doesn't make sense for them to do so, but a lot in Wall Street doesn't always make that much sense. But on the actual chart itself, it is flirting with that ALMA. So currently it did close on Friday above that. So going into this upcoming week, you could see some pretty good momentum. And as I've mentioned, that if you do believe in that whole gap needs to be filled mentality, then you could see a nice push higher to roughly around that 260 mark. And with a lot of these big hot data points coming out this week, if positive, then you could see that kind of be a nice push for Lucid that it gets to that 260. One thing to take note of, stochastic RSI is very oversold. So similar, like I mentioned, a good piece of news coming out specific to Lucid or the broader market, you could see a push higher. So let me know your general thoughts on Lucid. What is your viewpoint on, for instance, a lot of these things? Do you think just obviously a lot of the studios having Gravities, that's going to drum up some demand? More test drives? And what is your kind of thoughts on this? Ask me anything. Do you think this will actually be good for Lucid, like a good catalyst? Do you think there's going to be new information, or what's your viewpoint on all this? And so yeah, let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Hopefully everyone's having an amazing weekend thus far. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.